lights and cameras and mirrors.
Oh, hello, it's your boy Auteur Deluxe. Today I'm going to talk about my 5 favorite and 5 least favorite first watches of June of 2021. It's very important. The people need to know. It's very important. I saw some meme on Twitter of some guy, and he was goofing on people that watch a lot of movies in a month. Like, oh, you watch 20 movies this month? You know that MF doesn't have a job. First of all, it's just time. It's how you spend your time. I'm sure the person that put that meme out is binge watching fucking Loki or playing Warzone for 10 hours. It's all relative. We're all hurtling towards death. Second of all, I work to live. I don't fucking live to work. I know a lot of people wear it as a feather in their cap that they work 19-hour days, 3 fucking different jobs. Cool, dude. Enjoy your 8-minute break eating your tuna salad sandwich on a fucking steel beam 30 stories up. You're being exploited. Anyway, this month in particular, I saw a lot of good, a lot of bad. Let's start with the 5 bad. First, we had Dementia Part 2 from 2018. Evidently, this movie was made on a bet. It's only 66 minutes long, and it feels like double. Number 4, Phantasm Ravager from 2016. This was just an unnecessary entry into the Phantasm franchise. Bad effects, bad B-movie acting, like even for Phantasm, bad acting. Convoluted story, again, even for Phantasm, this is a convoluted story. And I feel like we're in a time where you could make a relatively slick-looking movie for not that much money. Like, people have more access to cameras, to cheap CGI than they've ever had, ever. And just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. Just because it doesn't look like a shitty straight-to-videotape 1990s movie doesn't mean it's good. Like, this movie... unnecessary is the word that keeps coming to mind for this movie. This didn't need to exist. Next was Visa to Canton, 1960. This was just a bad Bond ripoff. The set design was okay. Other than that, there's literally nothing going on. And there's like a plane crash on the poster, but there were no plane. I expected like dogfights and shit. There were no dogfights. Number 2, Too Late Blues, 1961. John Cassavetes. Much like Ingmar Bergman, you can really tell Cassavetes' passion projects versus the ones he did just for a paycheck. This was some shitty, boring jazz love story. And I don't mind old films, obviously. I watch a lot of them. I don't mind jazz shit, even though I don't really connect with it. But if you're going to see something like this, watch The Man with the Golden Arm. It does everything this movie was trying to do way better. Number 1, Officer Down, 2016. I knew this was going to be bad, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. This was directed by the fucking clown from Slipknot, so I should have known going in this was going to be pretty bad. But I like the Officer Down comics. Full disclosure, I've read one of them and I enjoyed it. It's very cool graphic violence. A lot of comics fall into the thing of like trying to be storytellers. Write a fucking novel. I want to see cool drawings. I got into comics very briefly, like 10 years ago. But I got into comics to see cool drawings. I don't give a shit about the story. I'm not compelled by a comic book. But again, this movie has bad CGI, like that slick, like how whatever program, all these shitty movies are using the same program, I think. But it not even just for the gunshots and the explosions, but just like a shot of 2 people standing by a police car is completely CGI'd. It looks like a Major Lazer video or like a Tim and Eric creation. It looks bad. And now for my top 5 favorite first watches in June 2021. Number 5, The Killing of Two Lovers, 2020. This was a nice little white trash noir. I really like these kind of films. Think Two Step, Killer Joe, Winter's Bone. When you see a blue-collar guy in a Carhartt, workwear, you just feel like dangerous shit is going to go down, and it usually does in these kind of films. I don't want to give too much away, but this movie is really worth a look. I think it just came to streaming last month. Next is City of the Living Dead. I had a hard time getting into Fulci initially. I watched Don't Torture a Duckling, which is a very boring giallo that has one very cool gore scene. That was enough to kind of whet my palate and get me ready for other Fulci films. And some I really like, some I really don't. This one really harped on like the dreamlike aesthetic. Like these movies, a lot of horror movies hinge on being nightmarish, but that's just like kind of spackle. They just kind of say that. These movies truly feel like they get into some kind of dream logic or some kind of subconscious where they're really eerie, really weird imagery, really creepy imagery, and it does kind of feel like a waking nightmare. The story doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it doesn't need to. The imagery carries this film far. Number 3, Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed, 1969. I'd been watching a lot of the Hammer horror films recently, and this one is a standout. This one is very good. I really liked it. First of all, that title, that's an incredible title. Frankenstein Must Be Destroyed. It's like an imperative, like he must be destroyed. I never really understood the Peter Cushing thing until I watched this. He's very dashing, very evil, very scary. Not scary, but very, he's a good villain. And instead of the creature, Frankenstein's monster, just being like kind of a fucking dipshit made out of dead body parts, it's like a full-blown guy with a different guy's brain in it, so he's articulate. He can articulate why this is horrific and what's going on with him. It makes for a very interesting dynamic and a very different type of Frankenstein movie. This is way above average. I really like this one. Probably my favorite Hammer horror that I've seen yet. Number 2, Possession, 1980. It's so rare, the older I get, it's so rare to see a movie that's unlike any movie I've ever seen, and Possession definitely fits that bill. Just beautifully shot, beautiful exteriors, the buildings in Germany. A very weird tone, almost David Lynch type tone, where someone's screaming one second, calm the next second, and parts where I felt like I wasn't supposed to laugh, but I wanted to laugh, and just very intense performances, really intense performances, really good performances. There's a lot to deep dive into and unpack and interpret from this movie, and I haven't even scratched the surface, to be honest with you. This is a good one to go into cold, so I don't want to discuss it too much, but seek out Possession, 1980. I think it was really good. Next is The Passion of Anna, 1969, Ingmar Bergman. This did what really good Bergman movies do to me. He has this way of writing really complete characters with like full-blown psyches, full-blown motivations and desires. He gives you these great characters and then puts them in these complex relationships that they have to navigate their way through. So he lays that as the foundation, and then gets into these ideas of loneliness, of identity. Then there's this whole entire other layer of Bergman being an incredible filmmaker just with his aesthetics. Lots of his little signatures and his little flourishes. He's very good at shooting faces, very good at shadows. We see all this in, Persona, Cries and Whispers. Bergman has a great visual style because nothing really ever feels arbitrary. It's really helping the story. Whether he's filming, these weird behind-the-scenes vignettes that are in this movie, which kind of help obscure the lens of like identity. This movie's about identity. Or when he's shooting, something as simple as a phone call and they're, keeping the camera on one guy instead of Anna. It really helps, show his loneliness and his isolation in his current situation. The way he shoots gets feelings across, gets certain ideas across very effectively. Don't get me wrong, I love when a filmmaker just arbitrarily uses fucking really stylish shots. I love Brian De Palma, I love Trey Edward Schultz. I feel like they both do this a lot. But Bergman, it feels very intentional. When he's showing you something, there's a reason behind it. Really liked this. Probably my second favorite Bergman movie. It goes Persona, Passion of Anna, Cries and Whispers, and then down from there. I really liked Winter Light too. I'm going through that box set finally. I've started a thing called Bergman Sunday. I try to watch these on Sundays because I feel like I'm in the right headspace on a lazy ass Sunday to, watch a Bergman movie. If I try to cram one in after work, I'm not going to appreciate it properly, so I don't do that. Well, there you have it. Those are my favorite first watches and least favorite first watches of June 2021. Tell me yours. What did you like in June? You could even lie. What did you like in May? I don't give a shit. Let me know. Comment below. Hit me up on social media, TikTok. Letterboxd is my favorite one. Instagram, Facebook. I've got them all. Twitter. Barely use the Twitter. Stay hydrated, especially in the fucking summer. Please stay hydrated. People up north don't have AC. That's fucking crazy. Stay hydrated. Stay cool. Have fun. Have a good one. Thank you.